Okay, ho ho ho! All right, it's time for the Steve Squared Thanksgiving edition of the Steve Squared Show. I repeated that twice. It's time for the Thanksgiving edition of the Steve Squared Show. That's much better. I'm your host, Funny Man Stevie K, coming to you live. Hopefully. What do you think? I'm digging the hat. I bought this if you are a recurring listener and you have been with us for several years, you know this is the standard hat to wear. Let me get a little better look at that. Oh boy. They really knew how to dress back in the 1600s. I'll give it to those Puritans, boy. They should bring these kind of hats back. I think that's what's wrong with the world today. We don't have enough hats going on. Big stovetop hats with a buckle on the front. Anyway, so this hat serves a dual purpose. Obviously, it's Thanksgiving week. It gets into the festivities, gets you in the mood. Second, if I took this off, I haven't combed my hair going on 3 days now. So it really does. Hats really come in handy for those purposes when you just don't have time to do anything with your hair. But anyway, how is everybody? Did you have a good weekend? It's getting a little chilly for my taste. I know I've been spoiled. We've been spoiled. Beautiful weather we've had here in New York, Long Island. But I want more. I can never get enough warm weather. You know how I could tell? As soon as my hands start getting a little that dry and they crack, and I have to use lotions and creams, and it's just too much. So here we go. It's getting a little chilly, but it was nice to get out on the path again since my half marathon run, and get myself going again. Legs feeling good. Thanks for asking, and hopefully we're back in business. What did you guys do this weekend? I've been to the stores, and holiday equals chaos, panic. That is what holiday equals. It doesn't equal family, fun, joyous, thankful. It equals spending, panic, stress. That's all it does. If you're a child, yes, it's a good time. You take your hand, you trace it, and make the gobble turkey, right? I enjoyed that for many years in school. I did that all the way up until freshman college year, until I had to take real classes. But it changes. There's obligations, there's worries, there's what are you bringing? What are you doing? How are you navigating? I go to the stores, I see people, they're just throwing all kinds of things in the wagon. We're going to do our turkey talk, right? I'm going to give you everything turkey that you can handle. As you notice, we're missing Tony and Steve today. They are on holiday abyss. But we'll get through the show. We usually do, me and you. You're always there for me, no matter what. No matter who leaves me alone, you, the squares, are always there for me, and I appreciate it. First, before we get into turkey talk, we have to congratulate that titan, the powerhouse of Massapequa, still, by the way, known as the Chiefs. And I'm saying it, they're still the Chiefs, so don't get all over me. Okay, I'm wearing a pilgrim hat now. I come in peace. Okay. So, they are see what it says there? Massapequa Magic the Massapequa Chiefs, as of now, they have won their county title. Good for them. Boy, they're good. They've turned into a really wonderful, good program over there. They do a good job over there in Massapequa. Let's see what they got here. They won in OT. Fantastic. Good for them. They won in overtime over Farmingdale, 35-34, a nail biter. Wow. That must have been really exciting. Very good for them. That's exciting. So, of course, it's football time. I am not so much into football. Not so much. It's like my third favorite sport after baseball, obviously, and then basketball. I'm more locking into the Knicks. They are playing this evening, the Denver Nuggets. They're out west. So the Western games are a little later. But you know what I've been watching? I blame my mom for this. I've all of a sudden have locked into these true crime stories that are on Netflix. I watched My Worst Ex Ever. It's called My Worst. They had a series of My Worst Roommate, and it's these horrible stories of roommates. Now they have My Worst Ex Ever. And some of these stories are unreal. They're just terrible. It would make you never want to date or have a relation. It would make you want to hide under your bed. It's just terrible. So I've been watching that. So to take a break from that hellacious, terrible true crime stories that really bring you down, I said, why don't you watch something else? Change the narrative. Uplift yourself. So what did I do? I put on the story of 3 Mile Island when the nuclear power plants exploded in Pennsylvania. I thought, watch something different. A feel-good story about nuclear radiation enveloping the middle America of Pennsylvania. And I was just there. I mean, not when 3 Mile happened. I was not there. I was just there running the marathon, right? In Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. Most of the time. They're not always the city of brotherly love. Sometimes they're the city of brotherly chaos. They're the city of... You know what they should change their name? Instead of the city of brotherly love, just call yourself the city of cheesesteak. Because, let's be honest, that's what you're known for. Philly cheesesteak. You're not known for love. What love are you known for? Anyway, but it's a colonial time. Pennsylvania, named after William Penn, by the way, is a very, it's one of those colonies, those first colonies, very colonial, right? We're talking about Pilgrims and colonial times and Puritans. I get all the history mixed up, but you follow what I'm getting here, right? So, the Pilgrims come. They have the big turkey dinner. Now, there's a lot of blowback from what the early accounts of the first Thanksgiving. Did they have turkey? Was Pocahontas there? Who was Pocahontas? I feel not enough girls are named Pocahontas anymore. That's a name they need to bring back. Wouldn't you love that name brought back? I think they should bring back like Miles Stan. Bring back some of that old-time names. That's what we need. I know what we need. We need Celsius to get us going here. Oh, boy. Oh, that's delicious. That is delicious. So, let's get into, now that we've congratulated, we talked about our weekend, we're going to talk a lot about, we'll come in and out talking about turkey. We're going to talk movies because this weekend was a big launch of 2 Gladiator, wink wink, movies. Gladiator, and of course, Wicked. A lot of Wicked going on. All the Wizard of Oz-y Wicked people. That's not my deal. I'm sorry, I check out on that. I have no interest in Wicked. I don't want to see Elphaba and Glinda, be funny together on screen and cutesy. I have no interest. No, I have zero interest in the 2 of them. Okay? No interest. Other than when Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel did it, I didn't see it then, so I am definitely not going to see it now with these 2. Anyway. But of course, who is, people love Ariana Grande, right? She's going to put butts in the seats, as they say. I cleaned it up. But that's what George Steinbrenner used to say. I'm getting Reggie, because he puts butts in the seats. Anyway. So, what did you plan your Thanksgiving meal? Did you order your turkey? Did you get everything set? You're going to what now? There is going to be some weather on Thanksgiving. It shows some rain, possible cloudy, nasty. Not a good day. And you know how I feel about parades. I think they're ridiculous. I don't understand them. I'm confused by them. Big, enormous, giant floats of balloons. I mean, how big? I'm going to show you a picture. Yeah, take a look. This is Ronald McDonald in last year's parade. Why is that fun? It's kind of scary and creepy to have something that, like a Ronald McDonald, the size of the Empire State Building floating throughout Manhattan. It's a little unsettling, don't you think? Anyway, you see it says parade balloons likely to fly because they have weather restrictions on if the balloon can fly. They don't want this thing popping and causing chaos and having thousands of kids have this as their Thanksgiving memory launching into the Christmas holiday season. You don't want to scar the children, and especially in 2024. Let's be honest. Kids were a lot tougher back in the day, right? Not centuries. Let's calm down. But maybe decades ago, right? The 70s, the 80s, the 90s. Kids are soft now. Anything it gets them upset, where they have to be put in a special safe zone and petted and calmed down and given lots of medication. No, not in my day. I hate saying that. Not in my day. Says cloudy forecast for Thanksgiving Day celebration. Oh, let's see. 60% chance of rain. Let's see. The city, that's New York City, mandates that iconic balloons, these big balloons that we love, the Snoopies, the Ronald McDonalds, the Homer Simpson, everything, all the big balloons, cannot fly if the winds exceed 23 miles per hour. So if the winds are bigger or greater than 23 miles per hour, there's no balloons. Then you're just going to watch, Santa makes the big entrance, right? That's when he comes in his big horse and carriage with Mrs. Claus, of course. If they are still together. I believe they're still married, aren't they? I'll have to check in my Dear Eric section if she has written in. I believe that's our story today. Mrs. Claus has written in to Dear Eric complaining about Santa. We're going to get to that. And you're going to be surprised on what Eric's advice is. He's saying, look, it's time you two split up. They've been together for centuries. I can't be with someone in the same room for 2 hours. Okay? Give it up for Mrs. Claus. She has put up with this man for centuries. It's too long. It's enough already. Anyway. So, we'll see what happens. If the wind... So, parades are usually attended, just like New Year's Eve, when they have the big crowds in Manhattan. They're all tourists. New Yorkers know better. They are not going to stand in the freezing cold where you can't even leave to go to the bathroom, yet you're stuck in these, pylons, and you have to endure this. These are not New Yorkers. These are people that come from out of town. They're spending the holiday in New York. It's a big deal. No. This is not... True New Yorkers would never do something like this. They know better. They're smarter. They're savvy. They know. So, anyway, I hope the balloons can fly. That would be really... that's a big part of it for the kids. Let's face it. The Thanksgiving Day parade is not for someone sarcastic, angry, depressed, vengeful like myself. It's for the youth, the wide-eyed optimism. Their whole life is in front of them. Why not enjoy a giant, oversized Ronald McDonald floating sideways? It says the cost of Thanksgiving dinner has fallen. Maybe they should tell somebody at the stores this who are pricing the actual meals, because I don't know where this is, but they're saying it is. So if they say it, it must be true, right? If it's there, it's got to be true. The cost of Turkey Day. It says the price of groceries for a classic Thanksgiving dinner this year is $58.08. So they're breaking down how much a dinner would be. It says starts off with a 16-pound turkey, $25. 14 ounces of stuffing mix, $4.08. I don't know where they're coming up with these prices. First of all, 2 frozen pie crusts. Who would ever get a frozen pie crust? $3.40, a half a pint of whipped cream, $1.81, 1 pound of frozen peas, $1.73, a dozen dinner rolls. What are they basing this on? $4.16. Look, it goes on. Miscellaneous ingredients, $3. Wait, there's no miscellaneous ingredients for $3. You can get, what are they talking about here? Pumpkin pie mix, $4. A gallon of whole milk, $3. 3 pounds of sweet potatoes, $2.93. A pound of carrots, 84 cents. And a 12-ounce bag of cranberries. Now, there's one ingredient here that sticks out. And this is where we get into turkey talk. So it says here, but the price is fine. That's $58. And it says here, 1 pound of carrots, 84 cents. Why would you say 1 pound of carrots would be so cheap, 84 cents? I'll tell you why. Because the carrots come with a little extra special treat. No, it is not a honey glaze. It is a glaze of listeria with a side of E. coli. That is right. They have taken the front page away from Boar's Head, away from McDonald's. It hit our vegetables, the carrots, for God's sake, the staple of any good Thanksgiving meal. So the meal is $58, but the hospital bill that accompanies your Thanksgiving meal is endless, priceless, as MasterCard says. You will be spending your better day of the Thanksgiving meal in urgent care, vomiting, throwing up, filling out forms while you're there, which is self-evident because you're throwing up all over the waiting room. So I beg you. It says here, but let's look into this, because I'm a carrot person. I love carrots. Oh boy, they can't give us a break. Nothing is safe anymore. Oh boy, Thanksgiving time. How do we do this? It says anything that starts off with the Center for Disease Control is problematic. That's never a good story, right? They're never a good story. It has recalled organic carrots. See, it's never good to eat too healthy. Organic carrots have been recalled because they've been affected with E. coli. 18 states, 1 death in Los Angeles. Boy, not good. They were actually, it says the CDC has reported 5 people sickened in New York City by E. coli strain. Although officials didn't list the exact location, which is always good because you don't know. You don't want keep them guessing. Is it Long Island? Is it the Bronx? We're not going to tell you. Just enjoy your carrots. Okay? You'll know if it's your location when you're doubled over the toilet bowl. Then you'll be like, oh, it was Nassau County. Ah! Now I know where the E. coli is. It says Oregon, congratulations, leads the nation with 8 illnesses, followed by Minnesota and New York coming up third. So about time we didn't lead in something. Thank goodness. Good for Oregon. They never lead in anything. So Oregon leads in cases. So for you Oregonites, is that what they're called? Or origamis? No. Origamis. Oreganos. For you oregano. I'm naming people from Oregon oreganos. That's it. That's what you were called. I have named you. Congratulations on the Steve Squared Show. Take it easy on the carrots at Thanksgiving. Pass on that. Go for the peas. That's my recommendation. This is not good. It says, what are the symptoms? So here we go. So just in case you're not sure of the symptoms, let's go over them. Excessive stomach cramps. So you can't blame it on your aunt's bad cooking of mashed potatoes or gravy. Vomiting, of course. Persistent diarrhea. Not just diarrhea, it's persistent. Okay, so it's not just going to happen once, it's going to continue. Okay, it's just going to run on and on and on, just like the Steve Squared Show. This Steve Squared Show is persistent, right? All things bad are persistent. They're annoying. So is diarrhea. Anything else? That's about it. It says an occasional fever, maybe a little dehydration, maybe a little kidney damage, depending on how many carrots you eat. Anyway, so it just says, what precautions can consumers take? I would say not to eat the carrots, but I'm not a CDC doctor. I would say pass on the carrots. That's the precaution I would take. But let's see what the CDC says. It says consumers should try to wash and cook carrots when possible. But when in doubt, throw them away. That's what I would say. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. You know, they just can't let us enjoy the holidays. Carrots are the staple of the Americana, of the typical. I mean, could you imagine, did they have these warnings, these outbreaks in the first Thanksgiving? Was Miles Standish sitting at the table across from Pocahontas, and when Pocahontas, and they were ready to break bread and enjoy a nice first Thanksgiving meal in whatever year they all met up, came with the Mayflower. Because, you know, I'll tell you why. Those people had iron rock stomachs. That is why. They had lived through rickets, scurvy, all of the most detestable dysentery, the famines, plagues. You think a little dirty carrot was going to bother these people? Of course not. But in our world, are primed and spoiled and basically just, you know, we're not tough anymore. This goes back to my toughness, right? This is not a tough. We're not living in a tough world or a tough country. So we got to get tougher, people. You got to prep your stomach for these for diphtheria, for E. coli. Then you won't have a problem. If your body's used to it, you know, just like working out. If your body's used to exercising, it'll take to it. So that's my suggestion. Just pass on the carrots. Go for the peas. I love peas. Maybe some sweet potatoes. What's your fave? What do you like? I have some good tips for dogs, because, you know, we love dogs on the Steve Square Show. We're dog friendly. You know that. So what should we say to dogs? I made a photo of this. Here it is. And I'm not just, can you see that? It's a little glary. Dog friendly Thanksgiving. So you want your dogs to enjoy the holidays as much as well. So we have some do's and don'ts for your pet, for your dog. Your dog can have these things. It's okay for the dog to have it. It says the first thing it says is carrots. If you're passing on it, probably not. They're assuming the carrots are E. coli free. Celery. Dogs enjoy celery. It's good for you. Turkey with no skin. Corn is good for dogs. Is okay for dogs, which I'm surprised at. It's not even good for me. So how would it be good for anyway? Sweet potatoes, and it says corn, but not on the cob. So don't give your dog the little prongers on the outside, and the dog is not going to do that with its paws. Make sure it's off the cob. Sweet potatoes, green beans, apples, and pumpkin. Perfect. These are things your dog cannot have. You don't want to give these to your dogs. Onions, no. Leeks, I don't know who would give that. Ham, don't give your dog a piece of ham under the table. Turkey bones, don't do that either. The bone, they could shard. Casseroles, garlic, grapes, stuffing. Don't give them some of the stuffing. And I could add chocolate to that too. Of course, dogs should not have chocolate. So that's a couple of the things that you, just some do's and don'ts. You want to look out for your man's best friend, women's best friend, all of our best friends. Let's face it, who doesn't love their dog? And this is why I love Newsday. And Steve gets on me for Newsday. But I think that they are right on topics. They know, they have the pulse of the people. And that's I always try to have the pulse of the people. So they say here, you're getting together with family. Okay? Could be distant relatives, close family, in-laws. it has all the makings of a disaster. These holidays are set up for disaster. They're not. It very seldom goes flawlessly and enjoyable, where you say, that was wonderful, I'd love to do that next year. Someone's always upset, someone's always insulted, something's always going on, right? Because, look, you're with your in-laws, family, friends, whoever it is. It's too many people. We are meant to be alone. Leave us alone. Why are we forced to have to break bread with these people that we don't see any other time of the year? Right? But okay, let's say you want to see these people. It says here in Newsday, we're just coming out of an election, right? No, everybody's fevered and contentious, and there's happy people because of it, there's upset people because of it. It's all over the spectrum, and everybody's got an opinion. It says, don't talk politics. Boy, Newsday, they don't miss a trick. Avoid the topic. I say get into it. Get into it, right? You have you get on one side of the table, you get your liberals, the hippie liberals, they're loving, everything is kumbaya, and they're trying to explain their point of view and what's wrong, and then they're talking to the conservatives on the other side of the table, and all of a sudden, before you know it, mashed potatoes are flying, E. coli carrots are being thrown, and chaos breaks out. All I ask is that you video it on your phone, send it to me, put it on Instagram, hashtag Stephen R. Kaminsky or The Steve Squared Show. I want to enjoy that. So please send it to me when hell breaks loose at your Thanksgiving get-together. Think of me. If you can't think of me at any other time of the year, think of me when your whole Thanksgiving goes awry, which is another great ingredient you should have at Thanksgiving, rye bread. Rye is one of your top grains and breads that you should have. Now, pumpkin. I'm going to have a health segment, but before I forget, pumpkin is very, very good for you. It's a superfood, something you should have. Pumpkin seeds are fantastic for you. If you want to have pumpkin pie, enjoy. It's my mom's favorite. She loves the pumpkin pie. Loves the pumpkin. Pumpkin is the way to go. Pumpkin is very good for you, so enjoy. Definitely. It says here, basically says make it less stressful. Make it a less stressful Thanksgiving. You know how you break up the tension at Thanksgiving? You wear one of these hats. You remember, look how, and again, this is not by happenstance. Look how coordinated. You have let me get to the side. You have our banner, take a look, of the Steve Squared Show. Let me scooch over a little. You have the banner of the Steve Squared Show, or Gov's Radio. It's gold and black, with a little brown, right? For governors. You got the dumbbell shirt. I'm in gold and black, right? Here's dumbbells. Boom. And now you got my hat, which is gold, brown, and black. So the coordinating that goes on here, you think it's just by chance, but I have to tell you, I spend many sleepless nights getting this all together. I think the sleepless nights are due to the horrible Netflix shows I'm watching that set me up for nightmares. Boy, I'm telling you, watch my worst ex ever. You will be horrified. Horrified. Let's get on a better note. Let me change the narrative, because I got into it. It's already 7 o'clock, and all I've been doing is fearing you about carrots and Thanksgivings and in-laws and possible chaos at your Thanksgiving. Let's get something in a more positive note, okay? The Island Harvest is doing a wonderful thing. It's doing a turkey collection. And all the trimmings. So you can make 2 ways to donate. I want to tell you right now. You can make a monetary contribution, or you could donate food items. How would you do that? All Panera breads. We love Panera bread. All locations, you could donate frozen turkeys, chickens, hams, non-perishable food donations. Leave out the carrots. At the following locations. So any Panera bread in Nassau and Suffolk County, and some other places. Island Harvest in Melville and Uniondale. Quick Check. All Quick Checks. That's interesting. And Pintail Coffee in Farmingdale. They are all taking They are all taking the contributions that you can make. Island Harvest, it's a wonderful thing. We know Island Harvest. We have donated many times. They are always at car shows. They're always at big events across Long Island, doing a wonderful job for those that need help all throughout the year. You should always be donating. I know we focus during the holidays on, I do it myself, right? I coordinate the Toys for Tots program, which we're getting off the ground. Definitely think about that. Donate your toy for a tot. They're actually doing a big collection at Burns Park in Massapequa, December 7th. So if you find your way in Massapequa and you're on Merrick Road, stop off in Burns Park and drop a toy off. Wonderful thing to do. So yes, we do tend to be thinking more at this time of year, but it's something you should always think about. But any time is a good time. So this is great. Frozen turkeys, chickens, hams, whatever you want to donate. It's always welcome. So definitely do that. See, I could be positive. Speaking of positive, I understand why probably I've been a little gruff for the first half of the show. First of all, I haven't shaved. Second of all, I forgot Kermit. You can't have a Thanksgiving special without Kermit, who's hanging on by a thread, by the way. I know, everybody says get rid of Kermit, it's just a stick. But you know what? I don't like to do that. Spirit Airlines. Have you ever flown Spirit Airlines? I have once before. Oh, there won't be no more Spirit Airlines. They have gone the way of... A lot of places are going bankrupt, right? We heard about TGIF Fridays. Red Lobster. I mean, where are we going to go for a $5 lobster now? They supplied us with cheap lobster. Now it's Spirit Airlines. What's next? Spirit Airlines has gone bankrupt, and I'm not a businessman. Okay? But I think I found one of the reasons that Spirit might have went bankrupt. Look at that plane. Is that the ugliest plane you've ever seen? Again, some of the best colors, black and gold, right? We're all about black and gold. But I'm guessing that's part of the reason, is that plane looks a little off-putting. And so anyway, you won't be seeing the friendly skies filled with that awkward-looking plane anymore. They're bankrupt. They be bankrupt. So here's the problem. If you're flying Spirit Airlines to get somewhere for Thanksgiving, you might have a problem. You probably want to check your booking with your booking agent and make sure that plane is still there, because it says here they're gone. It actually says they're still flying. They're in bankruptcy. The airline has lost more than $2.5 billion in the last couple of years. Oh boy. You can book. It says here, yeah, you can still fly throughout the holidays. They're still going to get you where you need to go. The only problem is, the one caveat is they are not landing. So what they're going to do to save cost, instead of landing, they're just going to limit the planes, and they're going to fly over said destination, hand you a parachute, you jump right over, you get right into your city. It's a more fun way for the family to do something together. Say you had on your bucket list, jumping out of an airplane. Spirit's going to provide that now for you. So what happens is, you're flying, they make the announcement, we are now over New York City. All New York passengers, get ready to jump. And then you'll go over. And I think this is a good idea. I think that more airlines should get into that business. Saves time, because you know the time. And then what they do is they just throw the luggage out of the plane, and you hope to find it somewhere. Boy, you better bring your carry-on then if you're getting tossed out of the airplane, right? Let's see how this hat's looking. Oh, yeah. I'm wearing it well. It's actually a little annoying. It's cheap. How much do you think this hat was? $1.50 at Party City. Now, that was a couple of years ago, but, I don't know if I should read. I'm not going to read Dear Eric yet. I don't feel like reading a Dear Eric. What else should I read? Hey, so this weekend, the big launch Friday and the weekend. The big launch of two powerhouse movies. Gladiator, starring Denzel Washington and the other guy. And Wicked with Ariana Grande and the other girl. If I was better, I would tell you all of their names, but I don't have it in front of me. I don't have it in front of me. Anyway, do I have it in front of me? Hold on. I don't. But how did they do at the box office? Let's take a look. Oh, boy. Well, Wicked did pretty well. 114 million over the weekend, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And Gladiator, not bad, 55 million. So they led the box office, of course. They were the two big movies, Wicked and Gladiator. Two really opposite sides of the spectrum when you're talking about, you have one movie, a good feel, kumbaya, really nice, right? The good witch, the bad witch, they learn to become friends and see the good, and it's all good. And it's all sweet. Then you have Gladiator, where people are ripping each other's heads off in the Colosseum, right? You survive by literally ripping the head off your opponent. So that's what happens. You get beheaded, and then you're running around with the head. So I don't know. See what you want to take your children to for the holidays. I know where I would prefer, but you prefer. You want to sit, enjoy, and watch some Disney, light, fluffy, right, singing, hi, Ariana Grande, yeah. Or do you want to just take someone's skull, twist it, pull it, and then run around and carry it over your head? Or do a double feature. Take them, Wicked on Saturday, Gladiator on Sunday, and then you go to therapy on Monday for the children. Then you take them and set up their therapy appointments. Anyway, but those are the two big movies. But the movie I'm waiting for comes out this weekend, this Friday. Moana 2. And it's, of course, Moana is the great singing voice of Ari Kavuhil. Yeah, she's Hawaiian. She's got a hard name to say, but she's a wonderful singer, great voice actress. She's very young. She's like in her 20s, young 20s. And of course, playing, Tati, her big guardian is The Rock. And so Moana, the first one was really good. It was actually, I love animated movies, and I think this Moana 2 is going to be good, and I want to see, boy, do I want to see Moana 2 knock off Wicked. I almost want to see that more than I wanted to see the Yankees knock off the Dodgers. Probably not, but I am since baseball's done, I am locking into Moana. I'm competitive at nature, so I need some kind of something to root for. I can't just wait till next. I mean, of course, I have the Knicks, but I need something else to root for. So Moana opens up this weekend, so get out there, support Moana. Let's beat Wicked. Let's beat Gladiator. Though we don't want to see those movies. I've seen Gladiator. It's the same thing. They made it into a prequel-ish thing. Stop it. I don't want to see it. I just don't want to see it. But I'll probably wait till it comes on some streaming mess and then watch it. But whatever. What else we got for you? Oh, I have a new hero. He is my hero. I'm telling you, this is the man. This guy is hero of the week. Now, CNN is having this little thing, I think it's Sunday night, or, heroes, where they find people that do heroic things. They laud them, applaud them. Actually, you should watch. Michael J. Fox is going to have a special tribute. So watch that. We love Michael J. Fox. The Steve Squared Show is a friend of Michael J. Fox. But this guy takes the cake. This guy needs an honor. He needs to be honored. So this man, what the hell's his name? Something Bogart or something. He goes on a little kayaking trip. He kisses his wife, kisses the kids, throws the kayak. He's in Wisconsin. We love kayaking in Madison, Wisconsin, or in Wisconsin. He takes it down to the lake. He inflates the kayak, and he goes kayaking. I love kayaking. I go kayaking many a time. But I have never thought to do this. Maybe next summer. It's a little cold now to pull this off. But maybe next summer. He goes in, and he's never heard from again. The man is never heard from again. The sheriff, the Wisconsin police, the sheriff department of the town, they start searching. What do they find? They see his car parked. They see the kayak turned over. They see a cell phone in the water, but no body, nothing else. They search and search with dogs and helicopters, man resources. Everybody searching. The family is hysterical. Find our daddy. Find my husband. Where is he? I just want to know what happened. Well, I'll tell you what happened. The man had had enough. He faked this whole scenario and is now with his girlfriend living in Europe somewhere in Uzbekistan. I love this guy. He just gave up and sent and left. And this is how he did it. So what had happened was he took a inflatable device with him, like a little raft, flips over the kayak to make it seem like an accident, throws the phone in the water. Now he had changed all his numbers, his phone numbers, bank accounts, that's all been changed. He's thinking way ahead. He had this way planned out. He changed all his financial information, got passports ready. And what he does is he has this inflatable raft and he gets back to shore, where an e-bike is waiting for him. And now I'm not a fan of the e-bike. I feel that it takes away some of your exercise work. But when you're trying to escape life, you might need something a little quicker. So he gets an e-bike. He goes about 70 miles to Madison, Wisconsin, where he gets on a bus that takes him to Detroit, gets on a plane, gets out of Dodge. Now, they can't find him. He finally, somehow, through the woman or something like that, he gave word. There was actually, I think, some videos, too, but you couldn't tell exactly where he is, that he's okay, but he ain't coming back. I'll see you later. Enjoy the holidays. The wife and kids are on their own. He took out a life insurance policy, he changed financials, and now he's living somewhere. They think it's Uzbekistan because that's the woman or girl. Don't quote me on the story. I'm putting it all together on the fly. I am not a journalist, so don't hold me to accuracy. Never hold me to accuracy. But the meat and potatoes of the story is this man checked out. I had enough. Right away. Did the kayak thing, had the red. He really planned this out. I'd like to know, now you got me curious. Now I have to find out because I need to know, as we all need to know. Oh, let's do this. Oh, here it is. I popped it right up. Now, a Wisconsin man who faked his own kayaking death fled the country and won't come home, he told officials, because they're asking him, obviously, come home, let's sort this mess out. Now, they don't know what the legal trouble would be, but obviously the family wants him to come back. See, this goes to my point. Have you ever seen those Amber Alert signs when you're driving on the highway or the parkway? You know, those Amber Alert signs, they tell you weather warnings, things like that. Sometimes the Amber Alert says missing adult. And it says Toyota Corolla, and it has the license plate. Missing adult. Are they really missing? Is this adult really missing? Do they want to be found? I don't know. I'm thinking no. I'm thinking they've driven away in that said Toyota Corolla, and they don't want to be found, and the last thing they want is people on the Wanto Parkway looking for them because of the Amber Alert. So what is this guy's name? Ryan. His name is Ryan Borgwart. Borgwart. Sounds like a Harry Potter name. Oh boy. And they say maybe Eastern Europe somewhere. His name is Ryan Borgwart. Look up the story. It's very interesting. It's just pretty fascinating, I think. It's an interesting story. So if he does come back, there is still time to honor him on the CNN special on Sunday. So he could be Man of the Year. Okay, why would he do something? That's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. Gives kayaking a bad name. And I'm a big kayaker. I'm a fan of, you know me. I enjoy a good kayak. Santa Claus is coming to town. This is no joke. So I want to tell you where and when you could, for all the kids watching. Kids love the Steve Square Show, let's face it. They really love the Emster, who they're not getting tonight. Steve is a big friend of children. So where can Santa Claus come to town? All right, let's start it off. This Friday night, right? Why not? Right down Main Street in Northport. See Santa ride down Main Street on a fire truck during the village's tree lighting. This will be 7 p.m. the Northport Village Park, right down Main Street. That's the hub of Northport. Northport's a really nice area on Main Street where they're talking about to see the Engelman Theater's right there. It almost has a colonial-esque, Christmassy, villagey feel. It's got a very throwback, historical Long Island feel. So it's a good place to enjoy the holidays. Port Washington. Santa will also be on a fire truck. He is very, very busy. This is the next day. But we know Santa can get everywhere, anywhere, fast. So he's going to be on a fire truck at noon during the Port Holiday Magic. There will be a free trolley, and it'll be a whole day. Very good, very good. I'm trying to see where else he'll be. Santa will be in Belmore this week, December 6th, from 6 to 10 on Bedford Avenue. Santa will drop by during that's the Hamlet, his holiday celebration. There'll be a tree lighting, a live nativity scene. Very good. Trolley rides. The tree lighting's at 7. Get there a little early. You don't know. Santa might not have turned back his watch. He could be on Pacific time. We don't know. I would get there early. Oh, boy. Anywhere else that looks interesting? He's in Massapequa. Massapequa. Santa will be here. Oh, boy. December 7th. Boy, that's a big day. Remember what I said? Burns Park is doing the collection. So you go give a toy. Then go right over to, where will this be? Oh, this is on Broadway. It's on Broadway and Michigan Avenue, right on Broadway. Santa's going to come down. He's going to be driving all over the place, 6 p.m. It's fantastic. I don't know how. Then he's in He's in a lot of places December 7th. He's got a busy schedule on the 7th. That's a big day for him. So check your news day to take the kids. Kids want to see Santa, but of course he'll make his big grand entrance on the Thanksgiving Day parade. That's really where you want to see what's going on and see Santa. That's what you want to do. What else? I'm trying to see what... Hey, congratulations to Ralph Macchio. Huntington's own, Long Island's own, Karate Kid. Who doesn't love Ralph Macchio? And I can't believe he just finally got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. This kid's been famous for since he's been 11. I don't understand this. 63 years old. And this is really wonderful. His star is right next to Pat Morita. That's very nice. Is that right? Whose star is next to that of Karate Kid actor Pat Morita. Very good. That's really nice. Wow. Let's see. Who else was there? Also, Billy Zabka was there, of course. William Zabka. We know who. Johnny LaRussa. And Tamlin Tomita, who, of course, has made appearances in the Cobra Kai series, but of course we know her famously from Karate Kid 2, when they traveled to Okinawa, and he had a love romance with her. She was also very good in The Day After Tomorrow, starring Dennis Quaid and our one and only Jake Gyllenhaal. She was in that movie. She's great. She's a really great actress. Very good for her. Here's it. So, that's pretty good. What else do we got for you? I want to read that story to you. Well, this is... I was going to... let me see what else I got for you. It's talking... They're always... This is something that bothers me, as everything in life does. It says, big day for small biz. Okay? Big day for small biz. Long Island's mom and pop shops hope to get boost from Small Business Saturday. So they've concocted some nonsense Small Business Saturday. And it's this newspaper goes on and on with this rhetoric. It's just this long, endless diatribe of how we as consumers owe it to support small business. They're always saying that to you. Support small business. But it's funny, they don't support me. How do they support me? They're never helping me when I have problems. Right? Their prices are still double what you can get for it on Amazon. So I understand. Look, it's great to be an entrepreneur. I know they want to do it. Design a dress, clothes, little trinkets. Do whatever you want. That's great. But don't yell at me or shame me or make me feel bad because I don't support small business when I can get the same thing on Amazon for $1 and have it in my hands yesterday. I could literally hit send and the truck is flying by my house throwing it at the door. That's what I want. Cheap crap quickly. That's the American way. Don't tell me about, well, you don't get the same quality. I don't care. I want it fast and cheap. That's the way I want it. Okay? So enough with your Small Business Saturday. Give me cheap Sunday, then I'll stop by your store. Come up with some other day, right? Inexpensive Tuesday, then I'll stop by. But other than that, I have no interest. I'm sorry. I might be. I know I'm going to catch a lot of flack from our small business community that watches the Steve Squared Show. Hey, you're always welcome to make an appearance on our show and promote at no cost to you. I can do that for you. I'm not asking you for money. Come on the Steve Squared Show. I have many a time had people come on the Steve Squared Show as guests, gym owners, writers, people that produce shows. I've said, come on and tell us what you're doing. Tell people where they could see you. Okay? So before you pass judgment on me and my pilgrim hat, let me tell you something. Look in the mirror. Wild rice is very good for you. It's wonderful. The facts. Oh boy, it's very good. It has flavonoids and rich in antioxidants, which are really things that help keep your body, your cells healthy. Good fiber. It's a good grain. So wild rice, if you're having it at Thanksgiving, might be an option that might be instead of the carrots. Now I'm going to have carrots. I'm a carrot person. I'm going to eat carrots. I will not be feared off of carrots. You will not fear me. I love carrots. I have to have carrots. That is something I need on Thanksgiving. Okay? Okay. I'm just saying. What else do we got here? This is also nice. It says here, New York State to ban pet store sales of dogs and cats. So New York State now, you cannot sell in these little puppy mills, in those little cramped cages when you used to walk in and want to see. No. You cannot. The law has been passed. It's going to crack down on pet stores. So you cannot. Don't buy one of these underground black market doggies. They must be done by a breeder or someone that's in that business. You cannot just go into one of these because they treat the dogs so poorly. We don't want to encourage that. We don't want to encourage this in these kind of pet stores. So I'm glad they're doing that. And they, in addition, I love these things. I really do. There's an evening of pet adoption. When is this? Thursday, December 5th at 4:30 at the Americana in Manhasset. So, the Americana in Manhasset, filled with stores that I couldn't even walk in, that you couldn't even, let's be honest. A shirt costs $300 there, right? A Brooks Brothers, these really, you talk hoity-toity. This is $1.25. That's where I shop. But let's say you were driving over there for this one set event, over at the Americana in Manhasset. Look at these. Look at these. I gotta show you. Look at those faces. You see that? I don't even like cats, and that's a cute cat. So, Champions for Charity, Thursday, December 5th, the Americana. Go down there, and you got a chance. You can adopt a pet, and rescue a dog, a cat. It's Champions for Charity. This is another good thing, and I think what's better than giving a animal a home for the holidays? A home for the holidays, right? Isn't that nice? That's, at the end of the day, what we want. Home for the holidays. So, as we wind down, let me give you a couple of Dear Erics, right? Oh, I like to finish with those. So here's one that talks about a Thanksgiving meal. It says here, my mom had this saying, least said, soonest mended. And I'm wondering if it's true with our daughter-in-law, Lindsay. My husband, younger son, and I had Thanksgiving with my son Todd and his wife a few years ago. Lindsay is a great cook and likes fancy food, so she made unusual dishes, including goose instead of turkey. I loved it, but my husband was in the toilet all night. No, I'm just kidding. They did not like it. My husband, my other son, they said it was weird, not a traditional Thanksgiving. We are having Thanksgiving with them for the first time since then, and my husband and son promised to be more gracious since it was obvious to Lindsay that they weren't really happy with the goose giving. It was a goose giving. So the mom is saying, should we apologize for the way we behaved or just let it go? Well, since we're coming off on the footsteps of Wicked, let it go. To put it in Idina Menzel's words, you should don't bring up something that happened a couple of years ago, unless she walks in with a goat or something. Unless a goat starts walking in on the dinner table and she's like, here we go! You're trying too hard. Just get a turkey, for God's sake. Get a simple turkey, throw it in the oven, baste it, marinate it, whatever you're going to do, put it on the table. Let's go. Stay traditional. Stop with this out-of-the-box Thanksgiving. You're trying too hard. What else do we got? My husband and I have just returned from a driving trip in the Southwest. Several days ago, he was standing in a fast food line. It's another problem with us, with America. That's where obesity is, standing in fast food lines. Use the drive-thru, it's quicker. When another man started a conversation with him. When the man asked, where is home for you? My husband responded by saying Los Angeles. The man said, I'm so sorry for you. This is not the first time we have received negative connotations to where we live. I have been seething ever since and can't get it out of my mind. We have lived in a number of places over our 50 years, and we choose to live in Los Angeles where we love it. There are many places that I would not want to live, but I would never mention that if I was in a conversation with a person from one of those places. How did our nation become so rude? Please advise me on the polite response if someone again should come up with this. Okay, let me come up with your solution. You need to be heavily sedated. Okay, if these are the things, if some stranger on a McDonald's fast food line, they got bigger problems, first of all. If they're online, by the way, the McRib is back. big news, just for the holidays. So you'll want to stock up on the McRib. But more importantly, if someone tells you that where you live, where you're from, if they put it down, demean it, you go right back at them and you say, let me tell you something about Los Angeles. Let me tell you something. We have such good smog. The smog that we have here in LA, you can't even see the person you're having a conversation with. Huh? You can't find that anywhere else in the country. Let me tell you another thing. We have earthquakes here that feels like the ground is coming out from under your feet. Tell me you have that in your little Midwestern town, huh? Huh? LA, baby. We have Rodeo Drive. We have fake actresses on Ozempic. We got lots of things happening in LA, baby. So don't you put down LA. I've been to LA. As soon as you get off the plane, the place smells like a marijuana hole. The whole place is, believe me, other than Beverly Hills or Rodeo Drive or you're shooting a movie there is no point to be there. I agree with the other guy, the crazy guy on the line. I'm sorry for you, LA. Plus, I'm a Yankee fan, so who cares about LA and the stupid Dodgers? Anyway, I thought I'd give a little LA hate right there. If Steve was here, man, oh man, would he be all over me, because Steve is a friend of LA. He loves it. He lived out there for a couple of years, and Steve would be, he'd be all over me. But I don't want to end on hate. It's Thanksgiving. I want to end on something positive. And I like this story. A friendship set in stone. You see these two? This is a wonderful story. This is a good feel story to end on. I need to end with better things. Longtime pals. They are longtime friends. They both retired at the same time. I want to tell you their names. Eugene Genova, and Ron Russ shared an unusual hobby in their retirement together. They hunt dinosaur fossils. They're amateur paleontologists who attended Sachem High School together. They bonded together in earth science class. They are now in their retirement years, and they love looking up minerals and things and what their passion of fossils together. They go on expeditions. This is why me and Steve are not closer than we are as friends. We have a very surfacey relationship. We don't have that commonality. We don't look for things together. So I, at the next show, am going to bring this up to Steve that we need to start doing something together. We don't have to look for fossils, but go on an adventure. Maybe something like that. Maybe look for something along the lines of Harrison Ford, right? Wanting to find that rare gem, the rare stone, if you will. Right? That's what we need to do. I gotta. Where is my phone? Who took my phone? Now I can't even find it. Did I put it somewhere? Good look. Somebody stole my phone. Well, I don't know. Anyway, I'll find it eventually. But it's 7:32. And we're going to close shop. I've talked a lot about nothing. Oh, one more little tidbit. Happy anniversary to the Hess truck. I do have a sentimentality to the Hess truck. It's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. The Hess truck is celebrating its 60th anniversary. It's just something that of a little nostalgic of childhood. It actually started in 1964. It was Leon Hess's idea, the founder of, Hess, after he started with his gas stations, and he wanted to give people a toy, or kids, at the holiday time, and he came out with this toy Hess truck, and it's gone through so many versions over the years with working headlights and ladders, and I mean, they're just wonderful. The Hess truck is such a real staple of the holiday time, and I'm glad that even though Hess has sold, one of the things they have kept going is the holiday truck, the Hess truck. And they have that song, The Hess Truck's Back, and it's better than ever. It's like, almost like My Boyfriend's Back. It's that by this group, The Angels, the 60s pop group. So, shout out to them. And wonderful. So, what have we learned today? Not a heck of a lot. Eat whatever's put in front of you at Thanksgiving except for the carrots. Pass on the carrots. Don't talk politics unless you are doing it for my entertainment and you're going to video it and send it to me when all hell breaks loose. I want to see someone screaming with a turkey leg in their hand. I voted for... What else? Of course, December 7th. I'll be talking to you before then, but we want to start thinking about getting some toys for the Toys for Tots. Wonderful program, the Toys for Tots. They've been around for a million years. They do a wonderful job. We talked about Island Harvest. Look up islandharvest.com. You can donate at any Panera Bread. Bring it in. Maybe you're going to get a bread bowl. Bring a little toy in. Drop it off. It's wonderful. And I have to say, all over Long Island, in the banks, in a lot of places, I've seen Toys for Tots boxes, so I'm very encouraged by that. I think that's a good thing. A lot of people are really getting out there and doing it. Don't forget that event. You can donate. You can don't donate your puppy. You can adopt a puppy or a kitten rescue also. That's in Manhasset at the Americana. So a lot of good things that you can do this time of year. Think about what you can do, but do something. Don't think about it. Do it. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving to my family. Happy Thanksgiving. And to all the Steve Squared listeners. I'm sure I'll talk to Steve and Tony before then and wish them a happy. But keep it safe, right? Always keep it, whatever you do, keep it safe, keep it nice, have a great time, enjoy, and everything will go back to normal. All hell will come back and chaos back on Friday. But I'm sure people took Friday off to thinking ahead. So anyway, have a wonderful, safe week, and we'll see you next Monday. Don't forget, the Steve Squared Show, 6:30. Stephen R. Kaminsky, my Instagram. I'll keep posting some dumbbells, some other fun stuff, and trivia and facts, and all that you can handle for the holiday week. For myself, Funny Man Stevie K, and for Kermit, and the rest of us at the Steve Squared Show,